I said I'd never join.
Thought living on sub would be too hard.
I figured only the weatherman tracks storms.
I said my job wouldn't matter.
Never knew how strong I was. I never thought this would be my commute.
I figured I'd never get out of my hometown.
Or be the one who stops an attack. Joining the Navy sounds crazy. Saying never actually is.
Oh, hi everyone, and welcome into Behind the Helm. If you want to watch this show live, tune in every Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Make sure to leave a comment down below, and we'll respond live. As always, find it, like it, share it, follow it. But if you want to watch the show after the fact, head on over to YouTube or on Facebook, where the shows are cataloged, and you can see all the comments and notes and still watch the show and any bonus content. If you just want to listen to the show, head on over to Spotify, Apple Podcast, Audible, wherever you can find a podcast, and just search up Behind the Helm. Enjoy the show. Episode 80. 80, ladies and gentlemen. We've made it. Welcome into Behind the Helm, Indiana's #1 military podcast. If this is your 80th time here, holy cow. We're approaching that century mark, that 100 mark. Thank you so very much. I'm sure Fields is going to try to be on. He's in Japan. Normally he comes in about the end because it's like 7:30 in the morning. He's still got that top fan badge. I know others are out there watching. But yeah, episode 80. If this is your first time here, hey, you're in for a treat. And thank you very much. So make sure you go down, you smash that like button, you share this feed, whatever platform you're watching on, whether it's YouTube, it's Twitch, it's Facebook, hit the bells, do all the things. It gives us a little gift here that we get to see and hear and know that you're following, and we really appreciate it. So thank you so very much for those who've been here and those who are new here. So, episode 80. What are we doing today? Well, it's February. Technically, our first episode of February was last week, but we had a guest come on who was supposed to be there the week before, so we got it rescheduled. And, we're going to take some time to talk about what February is. What is February? It's Black History Month, and that is just as important in the military as it is, not just in the United States, but it's not February, but in other countries as well. So we're going to kind of talk about that with a special guest. And our special guest is actually an Army recruiter. He's in the Army, and I'm going to bring him in a minute. But since he's in the Army, I did find a celebrating Black History Month video that was put out by the Army last year. It's real short. It's about 53 seconds. So we're going to go ahead and watch that just to kind of kick it off before we bring in our special guest. So without further ado, here is this video from the U.S. Army.
My name is Specialist Regis Pauno. I'm from Benin in West Africa, and my hometown is Papillion in Nebraska. I currently serve with the 1st TSC Material and Management Branch Sections as Logistics Specialist. I joined the Army in search of financial and social stability for my family, and I found that as well as many other opportunities. I'm married, father of 2, and I used to spend my free time with my family. African Americans have defended our nation since the Revolutionary War and have built a legacy of courage and professionalism by serving the U.S. Army with great honor and distinction. Embracing and celebrating diversity make our Army stronger.
So like I said, it was short. It was something that they had put out last year. I want to just go ahead and play that. And I'm going to get, so that we don't get that good old double audio, I'm going to go ahead and put on some headphones for this one before I bring in Sergeant First Class, recently promoted, McKoy. So let me go ahead, see if he's ready to go. We'll get him in. All right, don't say anything yet. I don't got you pulled up. Let's see, where is it? Man, one of these days I'm going to get this all memorized, I swear. All right, there we go. Now we can see him. Hey, go ahead and introduce yourself. Who we got here?
How you doing, man?
Oh, man, I am, I'm living a dream.
I heard that.
Nightmares are dreams too. But that's okay. Like, every day is an adventure. Is that your guys' thing?
No.
I think that was ours. I think it was a Navy thing a long time. No, man. So start first class McKoy seat. Got the extra rocker on there now. You guys can see right there on his chest. He got the 3 chevrons, the 2 rockers. When I first met him, he's just a lowly staff sergeant. He finally stepped on up to them upper E7 ranks with me. So it's nice to finally be able to like look at you. I mean, you're shorter than me, so I don't really look at you eye to eye. But nah, man. How are you doing?
I'm good, man.
Yeah.
I'm good. I appreciate you having me on. It's a pleasure and an honor.
Man, I'm super glad that you were able to do it. Like when I was thinking about it and like Black History Month, like I'm like, man, who do I know? Like, cause I'm white and I'm like, no, I'm just kidding. But no, seriously, cause we've had conversations about it. I'm like, man, I need to get a hold of McKoy because we've literally like people. I tell everybody like when I had Licklider on here and people from the other branches, I'm like, look, like. I don't know how it is everywhere else, but here in Anderson, look, we all get along. Like we all hang out, we do stuff together and we talk about stuff. And I think it's great that we do that. But, before we get into you, right, we got to do an homage to the Eagle, man. And you gave me one and I love it because we were talking about it, showing you some stuff. Look, so Marine, everybody always got to be funny. And Sergeant McKoy thought he'd be funny, and he gave us he said, you gonna hang it on the wall behind you? So yeah. So he gave me a Go Army sticker that I'm gonna make sure after the show I'm gonna make sure it can be visible. I'm gonna hang it right back up here on the wall so it'll be forever there from Sergeant First Class McKoy, man. So thank you so much. It's just a little silly tradition we started, and you see, like you came over here earlier and you see it's grown. There's a bunch of ridiculous stuff. So I think still probably one of the funniest ones, and I forgot about it until I showed you, was that we have the proud parent of a Marine, and I think that's funny. Yeah. But anyway, man, like I wanted to kind of introduce everybody to you. Hey, if you're out there, make sure you comment down below, whether it's on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. You got questions for me. You got questions for Sergeant First Class McKoy. I'll be able to see him anyway on any of the stream. We'll answer your questions. Always best to comment live if you can watch it live because you can derail us. I'm sure we'll do that just fine on our own. But if you're watching it afterwards, you can still comment. We'll get that too. So, and just a little plug, I am finally catching up. I've said this multiple times on the Spotify, Audible, all that. I think my new hours roll over on the 10th, which is tomorrow. So we're on episode 80 now. I think I got that to 61. I should be able to hopefully get completely caught up. So maybe not this week, but it will soon be where we have our live show, and then the audio version of it is up that next Friday for your weekend listening pleasure. So this one will be up on Spotify and stuff eventually. But anyway, smash that like button, share this feed, do all those algorithmic things to help get that message out. So, Sergeant First Class McKoy, man, how I already asked you how you were doing, man. I just backed. See, I do it all on my own, man. Anyway, I want to kind of hear a little background because are you originally from Indiana?
No, I'm not originally from Indiana.
Yeah, that's right. Where are you from originally, man?
I am originally from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
North Carolina. Come on and stand up. Take your shirt off. Spin it around your head. Is that no? That's south. That's
like
south.
a helicopter.
North. That was North Carolina, right?
He says both of them.
That's right. He does. That's Petey Pablo for. Oh, nobody knows who that is.
Yeah, that's a little old, man. That's a little old.
Hey, he was in Drumline.
Yeah, he was.
He was. I watched it the other day. I was like, oh my God, Nick Cannon at his finest. Anyway, Petey Bob, man. So yeah, you're from North Carolina. Did you join? So you joined the Army. Did you join the Army right out of high school?
I did about 2 months after I graduated.
Wow. Okay. So and then were you like, so tell me, like when you were in high school, was that ever something you thought? Like, tell me, like what got you like to say, hey, I'm gonna join the Army? Like, what was, everybody always says, why you join the Army? Why you join the Navy? Yeah. Like, kind of give us your little pitch on that.
Okay. So I'll say, man, where I'm from, Fayetteville, North Carolina, it has a really big military presence there already. Fort Bragg, North Carolina is right there,
Right.
home of the airborne. So growing up, I never really knew anything about the Army. My family was in the Army. My mom, my dad, neither were in the Army. But I always seen Army people in this uniform all the time. And the only thing I knew of them was they lived good.
Yeah.
Growing up, I had friends who family members or fathers or mothers were retired Army. They drove nice cars to school. They dressed nice. So all I knew was, oh, these people live good in the military, in the Army. So it wasn't honestly until senior year, man, a couple months before graduation, that I said, you know what, I'm going to join the Army. And it was really because I didn't have anything else going on. So it wasn't nothing that I thought about over a long period of time. Of course, I wanted to be good. Like I seen the people that were in the Army. I wanted to be good like them. However, it wasn't anything that I had planned out or nothing, or a dream of mine.
Yeah, and I mean, you've been in now how long?
10 years.
10 years, man. I got
10
you beat
years.
by like a year and a half. So,
Okay.
but I didn't join till later.
How old were you when you joined?
I was 26, man. I'm old.
Oh, wow. You like 40.
Yeah, man. Almost 37 this year. Somebody posted
Nice.
Sam Overman. I think somebody's just tagging somebody in here, but yeah, man, I was older. So the thing is like, I think about it now. We talk about it because you don't, like you said, you didn't have anything going on. So I don't think I've never met anybody who went into the Army, Navy, anywhere that they're like, I'm joining for 20 years. That's what's happening. Like, it's not. It never turns out that way. And then next thing you know, man, it just flies by. But I think like,
Yeah,
I could be close to retirement, bro, if I would have came in like you did right out of high school.
you would be.
Yeah,
You'd
man.
be very close to retirement right now. You would be having a different conversation. And that's why I like to tell people. It's crazy because, like you said, I joined the Army thinking I was going to do a couple years, get a little bit of money, you know what I mean, and get established. And it turned into now going on a little bit over 10 years.
Yeah, it's almost like, how do I walk away from it, you know? So
Right.
the difference too with the Army compared to the Navy, we have one place for boot camp. You guys have multiple, right? So
Right.
you join, you go to MEPS. Everybody loves MEPS. We got all them stories. You choose your job. What job did you choose?
So when I joined in 2012. I chose automated logistical specialist, 92 Alpha.
Automated
Logistics.
logistical specialist. So can you put that in civilian terms?
Amazon.
Yeah, right? Like
Yeah,
supply,
Amazon.
kind of,
Supply.
yeah, right?
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah,
but
100%.
automated, so more, yeah, like doing the big requisites and stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah.
We deal with more of the we do the whole scope. So we do transportation, we do the actual storage,
Yeah,
issuing, turning. Like it's that's why it's automated because it's more than just the actual
Right.
supply. We got the front end and the back end.
right. Amazon, that's good. Amazon, yeah, heck yeah. So you choose that. You go to boot camp. Were you relaxing in Jackson? Where'd you go?
Yeah, I was relaxing in Jackson, but
Yeah.
I was not relaxing in the company I was in.
Oh, okay, all right. So you go
When
to
I got there,
yeah. Go ahead.
when I got there, that was a big thing for my drill sergeants at the time. It was like, look, we know about the word of relaxing Jackson. We've heard of it. And they made sure it was nothing relaxing about what we had going on. They set that precedence very early.
Oh yeah, man, and it's funny, man. I talk to people about boot camp with the Navy and stuff like that, and it's funny when you get there and they're super hard on you, and then it's almost like as it goes on, it seems like, oh, maybe I'm getting it because they kind of lighten up, like they don't know what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
they go to a special
Right.
school for that. So you're in and that's Jackson, Fort Jackson,
Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
South Carolina. Thank you. Sorry, jeez. So not
Yeah,
too
you're good.
far from home.
Yeah, not at all. 2 hours.
Yeah. Where was your,
Yeah.
and then for you guys, for us, A school, you guys go to AIT where you learn your job. Where
Right.
was your AIT at?
Fort Lee, Virginia, about 3 hours away from where I live as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, dude, you were kind of, I bet you were, when you were there for AIT and stuff, I bet you got some time. You got to come home on weekends.
No, we weren't doing weekend passage, and if it was, the mileage was too far away. But it was definitely close. My mom was able to come see me while I
There
was
you
at AIT a few times.
That's good, man. That's good. Yeah. And then how long was your AIT? Like for your, because every job's different, you know.
Yeah, I think it was 7 weeks.
7, yeah, okay. All right,
Yeah,
so
7
AIT,
weeks.
did you have a follow-on school, or then was it off to your first like command first?
I had a follow-on school. I went to airborne school.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah. We went to airborne
Mhm.
school, which is in where?
Fort Benning, Georgia.
All right, so you originally from North Carolina, go to South Carolina,
Mhm.
go up to Virginia. Now we're in Georgia, right? Now we're in a
Yep.
dirty South. All right.
Yeah.
You there? Where'd you go from there?
After that, man, I went to Vicenza, Italy.
Wow, yeah. So that your
Mhm.
first actual duty station, you're overseas, man. You chilling in Italy.
Overseas.
See, I tell people
Yep.
all the time, people want to know the difference. I said, look, Navy is where you go to travel, but I'm not saying you can't travel with the Army, the Marines, the Air Force. Like, you absolutely can. Like, and we've talked to
100%.
multiple people that have. Like, you got to go to Italy. So you're in
Mhm.
Italy. That's mainland Italy, and you were there for how long?
2 years.
What was your favorite thing about it?
My favorite thing, man, I was young.
The spaghetti,
I'm gonna be
man.
honest.
Ha ha ha.
Nah, I didn't. I wasn't a fan of Italian food at the time. Man, I was young, so I'm used to mama's cooking.
Yeah.
So, my favorite thing, though, I would say, was the freedom that they gave us when we got there. Being in Italy at 19 years old, 18, 19 years old.
Right.
When you first get there, you're allowed to drink in the country.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because that's what it is. And most of the time, like same with us, you go overseas, the captain can put like, he can kind of stop that. But most of the time, it's wherever you are, whatever the law is there, like that's until you mess it up, which, I mean, you've been in long enough, soldiers and sailors, somebody always going to mess it up.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Yep.
I mean, yeah, like I remember when I got, kind of to my first, I was older, but like just in general, like, it went from like you can't do anything to hey, you're a soldier now, you're a sailor now, you're an adult, make adult decisions. And I mean, especially like you're saying 18, 19 years old in a foreign country and they're giving you that freedom, like I bet that was dope. Like
Man, it was
guarantee,
crazy.
man.
It's crazy.
So
Yeah.
how long were you in Italy for?
I was there for 2 years.
Just 2 years, and then after
2
that,
years.
where'd you head to?
I went back home, man, Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Right, so you're how close is Fort Bragg, like to where you lived, like your family?
That's where I live. Like,
Wow,
Fort
yeah,
Bragg. Yeah, like past the base on the way to my mama's house, get off base and be in my mama's house in 6 minutes, 7 minutes.
which was great because then dinner was always ready. Yeah, because you were still like you
Always.
said, you're still young. Yep. Mom's a big
Yep.
influence, and that's awesome because most of the time, you join the military and you're going to a base, you're not going to be close to home. That's when you're taking that leave and stuff, man. Like you're like you're right there. That's awesome. So you're Fort Bragg. How long
Yeah.
were you there for?
I was there 4 years, 2015 to 2019.
Okay, and then after Fort Bragg, where'd you head to?
Korea, South Korea.
Now, I got to so dang man, like hey, you're like sticking here in the East Coast, and then you got to go to Italy, and then
Yeah.
South Korea, like polar opposites there too, man. And
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong here, because I've heard, depending, I know there's a couple places like you weren't on the line, right?
Right.
I heard that like South Korea is a very, very fun duty station. Like because just South Korea in general is just amazing. Like the technology and the way they are, and like it's awesome.
Yeah. That is tied as my favorite duty station, tied with, of course, Italy. But I would say I probably would give Korea the one up just for the simple fact of where I was in my career when I got there. So
Okay.
being in Italy, I was a younger soldier in the Army. But going to Korea, I was a staff sergeant in the Army. So 2 totally different experiences.
Oh,
Both
yeah.
amazing. But
Yeah.
Korea was just beautiful, man. I loved everything about it. That was a good 15 months. I got there right before. I got there in June of 2019. COVID kicked off. So I was there through COVID. But
Was that
nevertheless,
weird
it was
there?
amazing.
Was it
Oh,
like
yeah.
the way I mean, because we always heard about, but I feel like over there, because of how many people they are, they kind of did things. They get real strict about stuff,
Oh yeah. They shut when that, like, so here I noticed I have a lot of friends in the military as well. So I would see when COVID was started how
Mhm.
in America everybody was not working, but my friends still was having cookouts, drinking, partying,
Right.
having a good time.
Right.
When I was there in Korea, man, it was 3 months, or I would say about 60 days of us not leaving the room other than to go to work twice a week.
Period.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And that's because of the country, like in general,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna nip that in the bud, which it's kind of a bummer because like it is such a cool duty station that you kind of were there for that, but so then after that then you get to here, right?
Correct.
So you're recruiting now. I gotta know, man. I don't think I've ever asked you. So,
Okay.
we're sitting with Sergeant First Class McKoy, a Army recruiter here in Anderson, Indiana. We're going just through where he's been, and we're now getting to Anderson, Indiana, right? So, in your career, you're from Fort Bragg, basically, right? Like right there, and then you go, to Carolina, then to Virginia, then Georgia, kind of far away, then overseas, but then right back to Fort Bragg, right? So kind of staying on this East Coast, and then Korea, and then you go recruiting. And I know, like, it's kind of like, hey, same with us, you got to kind of go where the Army needs you, where the Navy needs you, but Indiana, like, did you have any say in that, or was it like, hey, look, this is where we need you to go? Like, why Indiana, man?
I was in Korea behind my desk one day. I had my own office in Korea, and I got an email, and it said you have been DA selected for recruiting. And I was like, what? So I tried my best to get out of it. About 3 months went by. I got orders saying I was coming to Anderson, Indiana. I didn't even know where this place was on the map. I had to really pull up a map and look. I'm like, oh, it's outside of Indianapolis.
Bro.
So no, had no choice in the matter.
So sometimes you guys can actually get voluntold. I don't know. I think there was a time in recruiting for the Navy where you could, but now it's like it's volunteer. Like you have to go through a process. I have heard that though. Like you guys kind of get voluntold, and we get a little bit of say, like we kind of pick like our command we can, and then but once you get there, your ultimate duty station is, like it's hey, where do you need to fill in? Because like I'm originally from like Kokomo. And I kind of wanted to go there, but there was no spot. And like, so Anderson is what was open. And I was kind of the same thing. Like, I'm from Indiana. I don't really know anything about Anderson. Like, Muncie, I knew Ball State like that. And I'm from here. Like, that was it, because it just is what it is. But I always wondered that, man. I never asked you. So it was literally, you didn't pick nothing. They were like, you're going to Anderson, Indiana. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I had no idea. Yeah, let's do it.
And will you got here when?
October of 2020.
Yeah. Really? You just got here last October?
2020.
Wow. Man, it seems like you've been here longer. Stupid light. Seems like you've been here longer.
Well, yeah, I've been here 2 years. Last October was 2022.
Oh, 2020. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah,
dude, my brain, like I missed it. It's the headphones.
Yeah, you're good.
Squeezing too hard.
Bro.
So yeah, you've been here for a little bit. I was going to say, man, there's no way. So you've been here, you've been recruiting. So October 2020, like you've seen the good, the bad, the ups, the downs. We've all worked together. Play fantasy football together the last couple years. I'm pretty sure you got last place. Anyway, that was last year, man. But I think I just like to show again, like this is somebody not from here, and you can see like he's Army, like you get to travel, like it's what you make out of it, right? And we're to make sure to put your information out too. So again, if you guys ever have any questions about the Navy, the Army, I can get you in contact with Sergeant First Class McKoy and his team over here. They're great people. And, same with the Navy. Make sure you smash that like button, share this feed, hit the bells, do all the things, right? Do all the things. But the main reason I wanted to bring you on is it's February, right?
It is.
It's Black History Month, man.
Yes, sir.
And, when I was thinking about it, and I'm like, I'd really like to talk to someone, get somebody on the show that is a service member, where I can talk to them about their experience in the military as, a soldier, sailor, whatever, of color. Because, is it different? Is it good, bad, this, that? And we're going to get into that. But before we do, I'm going to pull up a couple things here I just want to show.
Okay.
Some stuff that like me and you were talking about. So right now we're just seeing you because, your answers. So, I was looking into some stuff and we talk about Black history and we see it and then the TV shows and the movies and all this stuff. But a lot of times we don't think about military and how much it was influenced by African Americans. And, we know some of the major names, like me and you were talking about that. But I was doing a little bit more research to pull some stuff up, and there's actually so much that I was like, I can't narrow this down to just talking about one or two people. So this is right off of history.com. I know you can see it, but so I'm going to read this first little blurb. Black History Month is an annual celebration of achievements by African Americans in time for recognition or recognizing their central role in U.S. history. Also known as African American History Month, the event grew out of Negro History Week, the brainchild of noted historian Carter G. Woodson and other prominent African Americans. Since 1976, every U.S. president has officially designated the month of February as Black History Month. Other countries around the world, including Canada, the United Kingdom, also devote a month to celebrate Black history. This stupid light, man, ever since our power went out today, now it doesn't want to stay on. But, there's different origins of Black history. We're not going to get into that. I just wanted to show that, talk about that, and we'll talk a little bit more about the different prominent points, especially when it comes to military. And one of the big things is I was like, hey, what about African Americans earning the Medal of Honor? How many have there been? There's actually been 93. And this
wow.
I didn't know it was that many. I mean, but 93 African-American Medal of Honor recipients, and we're talking all the way back to Medal of Honor recipients in the Civil War. So,
wow.
it's been there. It's, like, not to sound stupid or anything, like, or not to make a dumb comment, but it's like, it's been there. That it's Americans, African Americans, whatever. It's Americans in the military, and we'll talk about some iconic Black veterans here in a little bit, and a little bit of like just real quick here. This was kind of neat, man. I think you might find this cool. Black heroes throughout U.S. military history. I'm trying to look all this up, and it couldn't bring it down to one name. And you can. This is again right off history.com. Black heroes, U.S. military history. It talks about during the American Revolution, thousands of Black Americans fought on both sides of the conflict, both for the British and for, the fledgling United States. And then you can go and see more about it. But like Civil War, obviously, the Civil War, there was a lot to it, but a lot of it had to do with slavery. So, there were African Americans who fought, whether they were freed, escaped, whatever, and fought and took up arms instead of sitting on the sideline to see what happened, to take up arms for this cause. And then every single war since then, obviously. But it was so much that I'm just like, I can't narrow this down, man. Like this is even more than I thought. When I saw the 93 Medal of Honor recipients, like, shoot, because there's not a lot of Medal of Honor recipients to begin with,
Exactly.
So for you, when, you're at Fort Bragg, or you live there, you're from there. So when you went to join, did you feel any animosity or any weird, like, feelings because you're African-American or Black, or like, did you even ever think about that?
When I went to join, though, I didn't. I kind of went into it just open-minded. So I didn't really think about it like that. I mean, I heard people tell me that. A lot of people say it, but some people I feel like say that just because it's something that they want to do, they couldn't. So they would throw the negative in there, like, "Oh, you don't need to do that. They don't look out for Black people." I had to figure it out for myself. So and ever since I've been in, I said to myself, that you still got me my phone. Did some weird stuff.
No, you good, man.
Okay, but ever since I've been in, I told myself that I would try to change if that is the case. If Black people don't get the fair shakes in the branches of the military, then I need to get to a spot where I can help out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So that's how I went and looked at it. It's been a good ride. I haven't really faced too much racism in my career, and I have never seen anybody to my left or my right that I directly deal with had to face racism either. So
it's one of those things, man, like you just said, with the, hey, like, I'm gonna figure it out for myself. And if that's the truth, like, hey, look, I'm gonna try to get to a point to be that voice of change. You can't change nothing. I mean, I say it like, racism is a way bigger concern, but I just mean like even within the command, like some, policy or something. Like if you just constantly just like, it's just what we got to do. Well, why anybody questioning this? You know what I'm saying? Like until somebody does, ain't nothing ever going to change. Right. So, I just, have you seen, like you said, you've never really experienced it. Haven't seen it to the left or the right. I always tell people like in the Navy, man, once you join, it's all blue. You know what I'm saying? It's all blue. You, my brother, you, my sister, it don't matter. I don't care where you came from. I know where you are now. You know what I mean? Right. Like, I mean, I can honestly say that like you see different cliques, just like high school, but it don't matter if you're black or white or whatever. Cause like, on the ship, like we had, the clique of the, Dungeons and Dragon nerds, and you got the clique of the like straight up like hilljack hillbillies, man, the rednecks that are hanging and and then a lot of times you would see like people would say something, you would see cliques of like black guys and stuff together. Well, it's not because they're black, it's because where they grew up at, like they have that same culture, those same values and stuff like that. So it's somebody they relate to. Exactly. I don't ever see it as I've literally, and I bet you've heard this too, like, well, people segregate themselves. But it's not because of color at all. No, I don't think so. Like, I think it's where you're from.
Not at all. Yeah. I'll even add to that. When I was in Korea, I was the NCOIC of a warehouse. I had about 50 soldiers at one point. So I had a max of about 50. The lowest I had probably about 35. And of course, there, people would just, like you said, they have their cliques, group of people that they hang out with. And I had like Hispanics, I had white people, we had black people. Now, everybody got along, everybody hung out together, but on a consistent basis, you would find them talking to people who they relate to, you know what I mean? So it's not because of their color or their race, it's just because of, if I'm from Fayetteville and you're from Fayetteville, then hey, we probably gonna have a common ground.
Yeah, we probably grew up kind of the same way, and that same kind of, you see it like, I make jokes all the time, and since you're not originally from the Midwest, like some of the stuff that we say and do is like just kind of mind blowing to other people. Like I didn't realize that I said the word ope, O-P-E, right? Ope, until I was in the Navy, man. Somebody pointed it out to me. I was like, what are you talking about, man? I'll say, oh man, I forgot to change the camera back. Everybody can hear me, but they're like just staring at you.
Just staring at you. I've been over here trying to make sure.
I forgot.
I'm decent.
But like, I didn't know I said that. And then somebody pointed it out. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, and then I started realizing I was saying it. And then like when my son was little, like, not even talking full sentences very well, like he tripped and said it. I'm like, son of a gun. Like, you never know. But you get to meet all kinds of kinds. Use that word
in a sentence for me, though.
Huh?
Use that word in a sentence, though.
Sorry. Hey, let me get that for you. Hey, can I get the door for you over there? Hey, thank you. You can go first there. You use it anywhere in a sense, man. Trip. Okay. Did you see that? Look, man, you're not merely born in Indiana, okay? We emerged from the corn with Hidden Valley Ranch in one hand and Bud Light in the other hand, saying "ope." That's. But yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, because you get a chance to meet all kinds of kinds too. Yep. I tell people this all the time. I've met my best friend and my worst enemy in the Navy, and I've met people that I would have never have got to meet. Like if it made amazing friends that like in no circumstance would we have ever had been, in the same room. Yep. The Army is a lot bigger, so I'm sure like. The people and things that you've got to do, like, has been just crazy,
Yeah, I agree with you with that, too. I met my best friends, like people that I'm closer to people that I've met in the Army than I am with people who I grew up with.
Right.
So
call that friends of circumstance, right? I say that all the time. Exactly. Now, like, obviously, like Fort Bragg, it's a bigger area. Like where I grew up is a little bit smaller, but most of the time, like when you're in your home, you tend to just gravitate towards the people that are near you because they're around. Not necessarily like we have what we have in common is we're both here. Not that we're really, really friends, And when we get the chance to leave, whether it be Army, Navy, like whatever you do, and you come back, you're like, man, this is stupid. Like, yeah, like, man, I was dumb. But yeah, 100%. So, but realistically, like, do you feel in the Army same way? Like I was talking about in the Navy, and you don't see that. You treated the same. It's we say it's all blue. I don't know if you guys say it's all green. You never felt that, never seen that, never feel like it's something that if like, and why I say that is if you were talking to, like a young black man that's like, man, I don't want to join the military because like they do not treat us the same. How would you combat that?
I would ask him. I actually have had this happen.
I bet you have. That's why I wanted to ask you, because I guarantee you have, especially here.
Yeah, all the time. I ask, why did they say that? That's my first thing. I like to get all the facts before I give my opinions back.
Yeah.
And I always ask, like, what makes you say that? And the bad thing about it is a lot of times
they don't have an answer.
They don't know anything about the military.
Nope.
So it's something that somebody else told them, or just something that they came up with in their mind. And I'm like, bro, well, take me as an example. you know?
Yeah, I mean, look, you are 10 years in E7.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, both of us, man. That's where I hit it too. That 10-year mark. Bam, we got it. And I'm telling you, I don't care what branch you're in, and I'm not tooting my own horn. You can toot yours, that's fine, bro, but that's not an easy feat.
Not at all.
White, black, red, you identify as a toaster, you make E7 in less than 10 years. You're doing something right. So
it's usually like a 13, 14.
Oh, yeah.
I would say 10, like 11, 12 is when you're getting ready to get looked at, finally getting it 13, 14. That's common. I mean, I know people who made it in 18.
Yeah.
E7. You know what I mean? So.
And so, again, like we're sitting with Sergeant First Class recently. When did you make it? It was pretty recent.
January 1st.
January, man. Congratulations. I know I've already told you, but congratulations. Same with Sergeant First Class McKoy, Army recruiter in Anderson, Indiana. We literally, we all share a wall. We go into each other's offices all the time. So if you have any questions for him or about the Army or the Navy, make sure you post it. We'll get to you. What's you want to plug your phone number? I'll make sure to write it in later too, but what's your phone number if somebody wanted to reach out and get to you, man?
I know my number is 765-543-7293. I'll even put a picture of my card
up
at that. The camera real quick.
Yeah, hold that right there. Don't move it.
There you go.
Yeah. So if you guys ever need to talk to anybody about the Army and look, like me and Sergeant First Class McKoy, I tell you, like we've tossed some people back and forth before. Somebody wanted to join the Navy, brought them over to me. I got somebody that's more fit for the Army. Like we do that. Like again, not knowing stuff about the military, right? Like that we hate each other. Like we got a job to do. We have a mission that has to be done, sure, and we're looking out for us. But I really like that we've always been able to do that, man. So, and I appreciate you coming on for Black History Month, so we could kind of talk about that. So I'm gonna pull up now. I'm gonna go back to that screen, where they're just gonna see you for a minute. But check this out. I didn't know some of these. So this is off of VFW, and I would encourage anybody to, if you are a veteran, now VFW, there's certain things you have to be able to join, but VFW, American Legion, hey, look, I'm gonna be honest, membership is falling with this newer generation, and the older generation is starting to, for lack of a better term, die off, and I will tell you how much the VFW and the American Legion really gives back to the local community. If you are a veteran, you should definitely go into these establishments and become a member. But this is celebrating iconic Black veterans, and some of these I knew. Some of them I did not. So Morgan Freeman, everybody knows Morgan Freeman. He served in the Air Force. I knew that one. Tracy Morrow, more commonly known as Ice-T. Ice-T actually served in the Army. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Me neither. He served in the Army. And you can look this up because it talks more about it. We're not going to go through every single, I'm not going to read it all, but yeah, I didn't know that. Right. Barry Gordy Jr. served in the Army in the Korean War. David Robinson, I did know this one. This is why they called him the Admiral, because he was in the Navy. James Earl Jones served in the Army. I think I had heard that one. I love when they're like, hey, he voiced Darth Vader. Okay, well, you never saw him, okay, but he was in a lot of other movies and stuff too. But yeah, I always it's Mr. T, okay? I can never say his name. Mr. T. Everybody knows who Mr. T is. He served in the Army. Do you know that one?
Didn't know that.
Nope, me neither. And, funny enough, he was a drill sergeant at Fort McKoy, spelled differently than your name, but I just found it interesting.
Yeah, with a C. That's
Yeah.
over in where's that at?
It was in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
There's no boot camp there anymore, but
no.
Yeah, he was in the Army. Elgin Baylor, Army Reserve. He went reserve. Sissy. Yeah, but Harry Belafonte was World War II in the Navy. There's only a couple more here. Cheryl Underwood, Air Force Reserve. I didn't know this one. I really didn't know this one. Jimi Hendrix served in the Army.
What?
Yeah, you think about before becoming arguably the greatest guitar in rock and roll history. James Marshall Hendrix of Seattle found himself with an ultimatum. A troubled childhood and a run-in with the law led to a judge. I've talked about this. This is back in the day when they could literally make you judge to give Hendrix a choice between serving 2 years in prison or joining the Army. And on May 31st, 1961, he enlisted and was assigned to the 101st Airborne Division out of Fort Campbell.
Wow.
Dude, I had no idea. I saw that name, like, no way. But yeah, Jimi Hendrix. Isn't that crazy? Blew my mind, man. I could not believe that. This stupid, man, these lights. Nobody can see it right now, but I'm getting sick of this. So, now they don't see you. Man, I get better at this, I swear. There we go.
You sit in the dark over there, brother.
Dude, when our power goes out, that light sensor, it doesn't reset right, and then it just kicks off. It drives me crazy. Whatever. But anyway, man, yeah, absolutely. Everybody, make sure you smash that like button. You got any comments, make sure you throw them down below. We'll make sure to get this up later. But here's the thing, man. We're gonna do some stuff for charity in the bonus content. But I want to give you an opportunity to just shout out anybody you want to, do your thing. Just kind of, hey, look, here's the thing, right? I talk about the Navy all the time. You're the Army. Why would I bring you on this podcast? Because I respect you and I respect everybody who serves. It don't matter what branch. I've said that to you guys all the time. And I guess my big thing is we talked about being a soldier of color. What else would you say on that topic? Like what, because I don't want to ask stupid questions, but right. What's some? Here's a good one, man. Because you've said you've gotten some questions before, or you've had to combat people saying that. What are some questions maybe that you've gotten because you are a soldier of color that you were like, are you serious? Like you asking me that? Like you ever gotten any of those kind of weird ones?
Not that I could think of off the top of my head. I feel like it's something there, but not that I could think off the top of my head.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think, man, if I've ever been asked anything I don't know, man. But you never, in all honesty, you do not feel that you've ever been treated any differently. You are a soldier, first and foremost. And I think I'm a soldier. Yeah, man. I think that is the thing that I really want to drive home with this. And, because we have stuff, and I know you guys do too for the Army, right? Every month we have, it's whatever month. It's this month, that month, next month is Women Appreciation Month, right? And we celebrate that stuff too in the Navy and in the Army, right? We're looking at Black History Month because it's national, but the Navy and the Army, they really try to, show that and celebrate the culture and the history of what that has represented in our services for each of us. I think the video that we watched, it was just one guy and he had I couldn't really hear exactly where he said he's from. He had the Michael Blackston accent, that very African accent, and I've met some amazing African Americans in my time, man. On the ship, I had a guy. He was a cook. Originally from Oh man, Congo, close to the Congo, because he spoke fluent French, and he was smart, man. He's married, had kids, had a degree, but it was from like a master's degree, and he's a cook, right? And we were doing some stuff with the French Navy, and they brought him up from the galley so he could talk to him, and he was an amazing guy.
Oh, wow.
But he had that real thick like accent, so like some people would be like they didn't want to talk to him, like they felt like he was aggressive. It was just like how he was, but he was funny, man. Like, God, I wish I could remember his name. It's so many people, dude. It's so hard to remember people's names. But I used to sit and talk to him, and when I found out like this dude's got like college degrees, I'm like, dude, why are you a cook? He said it was because of his citizenship. You know, but the Navy was helping him become a U.S. citizen and stuff. Like, I was like, dude, that's that's insane. Like, how do you decide to do that? You know?
Right.
But,
right.
Yeah, man. Anything else you want to shout out, put out?
Nah, man, nothing really. I want to say I do want to shout out my mom. Today's her birthday, so happy birthday, Mom.
It's your mom's birthday?
Yep, today's my mother's birthday.
Wow, man. And you're doing
25
this
25 again.
How old?
25 again.
Oh, she's the 25 again? My wife's turned 29 like 6 times, so hopefully she's not watching, because I think I just said it was too many times. That made her way older than she is. But yeah, she won't turn over 29. That's what she keeps saying. 25 like again, man. You go home and see family still? Because she's still out there in Fayetteville?
Yeah, she's still in Fayetteville. She actually was here for my promotion last month.
Was she? Oh, man, see, that's awesome. You know?
Yeah, my mom came, my uncle came, my grandma came.
Yeah, man, that's great.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Good to hear. I'm glad I got an invite.
I'm glad you didn't come.
Wow. All right, hey, so
did I not invite you? I'm trying to think though.
I don't know, man. I'm just giving you a hard time. You didn't. That's okay.
Sorry, man. I apologize.
Bro, you have family in town.
So we're good.
Dude, I'm giving you a hard time, man. You have family in town. I ain't nothing. It's all good. It's all good. But hey, before we roll into bonus content, again, make sure you smash that like button, share this feed, check out some of this amazing information about Black history and in the military in general, because I will tell you that me and Sergeant First Class McKoy were trying to talk about, like, hey, is there anybody specific that we should talk about? And like we would come up with a few. Like I came up with a few, obviously, like with the Navy, like everybody knows Carl Brashear, but there's so many more. The Golden 13, like it is. There's a lot. There's so much more than even I knew there was a lot, but to really see the impact, I mean, it's so much more than we can even cover in an hour episode. Like there's just no way. Right. And I think the big thing was seeing somebody that's in right now, and saying like, look, I haven't experienced it, and it is what you make out of it. Does it happen? Does it happen? It happens everywhere. I'm not saying I feel like it's less in the military because it's something that we're very big on, right? We're very big on, it doesn't matter what their race, creed, religion, any of that is. We're together in this. Does it happen? Yeah. Does the military take it very seriously when it does? Yeah, I've seen it happen, where somebody got in a lot of trouble for making some comments. They did not. They took it very seriously, and it, unfortunately, it's something that still happens out in the world. But be that voice for change, man. Everybody, like you were saying, hey, if I'm gonna come in and see it myself in the Army, and if that's how it is, I'm gonna get myself to a point to be that person who's gonna raise a riot, not a riot, but I'm gonna take care of this. And I think that's anywhere. I think the big thing, we always talk about in the military is sexual assault. But when it comes to racism too, I'd use the same term and say, don't be a zebra, man. Don't stand by and watch it happen. It don't matter. Stand, because sometimes it just all depends on where you're from, how you deal with it. And, I never want to see anybody get put down for anything, so hopefully, we have it, in our stuff, we call it a SEMIO, equal opportunity managers. So it's serious. Like we take it very seriously in the military. So I don't want anybody to ever think like, well, I'm black, so I'm gonna get treated bad in the Navy, Army, or I'm Hispanic, or English really isn't my first language. Like, so who cares, man? Change your own life, and don't ever let that stand in front of you. I think you would agree with that, yeah.
100%. 100%. Don't ever and if you're out there and you think that's the case, come up online, come up on the net, come have a conversation with me.
Yeah.
We can talk about it. I've been a lot of places like we just talked about, and I will say that is not the narrative that needs to be painted, if that is the narrative that is painted.
Yeah, I hope it's not wherever you are. And I will tell you, I think this is both from myself and Sergeant First Class McKoy. If you're in the Navy and you're experiencing that, reach out to me. I don't care. I don't care where you're at. If you're in and you're experiencing that, I will help you. And if you are in the Army, it don't matter where you're at, Fort Bragg, Fort Sill, Fort wherever, you can reach out to Sergeant First Class McKoy. And,
yes, you can.
There are advocacies and stuff that you can talk to. This is just us as senior enlisted personnel saying that if you're experiencing that and you need to talk to somebody to figure out what you need to do, you can call either one of us anytime. And I know that both of us are very serious about that. So that was a little sombering, but it's important, right? It's important. So, hey, I'm going to thank you again for coming on the show. February is Black History Month, episode 80. Make sure you smash that like button, share this feed. This is where it's going to end for the audio portion of it. But if you're still here watching live or you're watching this later, we're about to start our bonus content, which Sergeant First Class McKoy doesn't really know what he's getting into yet, man.
Yeah, I don't.
He doesn't. He knows. He knows now that he's going to be trying to play for charity. People who've watched my show over the last couple weeks know. So, I mean, if you ever watched my show, you'd know. I mean, I'm just saying. Don't invite me to your advancement. Watch my show. You won't be on it though. No, I'm just kidding, man. So hey, check it out. Bonus content in 3, 2, 1. Bonus content. So we're playing for charity, man. You're gonna play a little game for charity.
Okay.
All right. I asked you what your favorite charity was. You had a few different ones, and we've gone with this one before. We're gonna go with Till Valhalla Project. And I'm going to show a couple things. I wear a bracelet from Till Valhalla Project. It's the 22 a day. Everybody's heard that one. But check this out. We're going to look at their site here. So Till Valhalla Project, there's all kinds of things you can get. So any money that is spent here goes towards their cause. They always have deals. There's men's, women's shirt. There's custom bands. They have like the rubber band ones as well, hats, all kinds of stuff. They're always coming out with new stuff. Once you become a member, once you get far enough, like if you donate enough money, you become, I can't even think of it now. You'll see it because it's on my truck here in a minute. I don't know why I can't think of it. But like this shirt, I love this shirt. Me and my wife both have it. Keep moving forward. It's great stuff. Okay, it's a really great cause. It's all about veteran suicide. The 22 a day is because, unfortunately, on average, 22 service members and veterans commit suicide every single day. So this is a great charity, and unlike some other charities, I will tell you that most of their money, they are not profiting. They're not looking to profit. They are literally doing everything they can to recognize servicemen and women who aren't getting recognized, who unfortunately didn't have somebody there. So reach out, text someone, call someone, that battle buddy, that shipmate that you haven't heard from, man. Like, you never know what people are going through. So 22 a day. With that being said, I want to show this quick video. Sergeant First Class McKoy, you'll be able to see it. There's just music behind it. You just won't hear it. But for everybody else, it's a video that I had made a while ago for this, and that's what it is, Legacy Guardian. Once you donate so much, you become a Legacy Guardian. So here's this video. right, man. So you still there with me? You ready to see what you're doing?
Yeah, man. I wanted to say something, man. You started shaking a little bit during those 22, man.
I know. I actually did because I tell you the truth, I recorded that like 4 or 5 times because I kept messing it up and the phone fell. So I did way more than 22. Yeah, man. I definitely
man.
I did way more than 22. But that's okay. I did. I know. I knew you were going to say something, man. So check us out. You're going to get an opportunity to win some money. We're going to play. No, thanks. I don't want your stuff. Get out of here. We're going to play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? $100 edition, okay. Army edition, because I can't donate $1 million. I'm not that well off, man. I wish I was, but I'm not. So I hope this is an Army edition, man. I hope you don't embarrass yourself. That's all I'm going to say. Hopefully you don't embarrass yourself.
How many people are watching this video?
Huh?
I said, how many people are watching this live right now?
Okay. Well, you got to remember, you can't see everybody. But I'm going to play some, Who Wants to Be you remember that show, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yeah, of course.
All right, well, I'm going to be playing some music in the background. Everybody can hear it but you. That's okay. Just feel like the pressure's on, okay?
Okay. All right, I'll feel it.
You feel it? All right. And can you see my screen? You can see my screen, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, good. Hey, check this out. Bam. All right, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with Sergeant First Class Army Edition? Wonder what the questions are going to be about. So here's the deal, man. You're going to get 3 lifelines. You got a 50-50. You got to ask the audience, which I put into a thing, and it gives me percentiles to spit out at you, and you got to phone a friend. All right? You got 3 lifelines. Okay. You get a chance to win up to $100. There are stopping points or save points. When you get to that save point, you answer that question correctly. No matter what happens past that, you will win that much money for your charity, which Behind the Helm will donate. All right, so we're going to go ahead and begin. Do you understand the rules, and are you ready?
I am.
All right, here we go. So we're going $1, $2, $5, $10, $20, $50, $60, $75, $90, $100, and there will be a bonus question where you can earn an extra $10 for your charity. So the very first question, what is the most distinguished medal a soldier can earn? A, Distinguished Service Medal, B, the Purple Heart, C, Medal of Honor, or D, the Soldier's Medal?
I gotta go with the Medal of Honor.
Medal of Honor, C. Final answer?
Final answer.
You are correct. It is the most distinguished medal a soldier can earn, and it's not just soldier. It's across the branches. Being a Medal of Honor recipient is one of the most distinguished things that you can do. You've earned $1 for your charity. Good for you.
Nice.
Question 2. When was the U.S. Army founded? July 4th, 1776, June 14th, 1775, July 14th, 1770, or June 3rd, 1784?
Now that one I know. That is June 14th, 1775.
For $2, June 14th, 1775. You are correct. You've got $2 for your charity, sir. The Army was founded June 14th, 1775 is the official date and what we still use today. So your next question will be that first save point, $5. All right, let's see if you can get the save. You ready?
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready.
What is the largest Army base based on population? Fort Hood, Joint Base Lewis McChord, Fort Benning, or your old home stomping grounds, Fort Bragg?
Now that's a hard one. That's a hard one because I've been to Fort Bragg and I know how many people are there.
Right.
But based on population, man, that's a hard one. It's between A and D. It's between Fort Hood and Fort Bragg for sure. Now, that's very hard.
I'll give you a little help here without you having to use the lifeline, because when I first looked at this, where I got this from, it is talking about the Army population. So Fort Hood has a lot of not Army, if that helps without giving anything.
Oh, they do. Oh, well, then I'm going with D, Fort Bragg.
Fort Bragg, final answer. You are correct. Your home stomping grounds, which I didn't even know when I made this, by the way. I thought this was kind of a weird one, but I thought maybe you would know. So I was gonna help you out on that one because based on what population, you know what I mean. So
Right.
I got you.
Right.
$5. You are at your first save point. $5 to your charity. The next two questions, if you miss them, we're still gonna give $5 to your charity, man. Next question. I will tell you, they will start to get harder though. Who was the first general to be promoted to the 5-star rank in the U.S. Army? George Marshall, Omar Bradley, Henry H. Arnold, or Dwight D. Eisenhower?
I am stumped with that one.
You have 3 lifelines. You
have to
can
take
phone a friend, you can ask the audience, and you can also do a 50-50.
I want to phone a friend on this one.
Who you gonna actually call somebody, or you gonna ask the guys out in the?
Well, never mind. They're not even here. So, in which, now I think about it, they probably wouldn't know either. I'm gonna go with D.
I dare you to call your first sergeant.
You dare me to call my first sergeant?
Yeah, do phone a friend.
Like, call my first sergeant.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna call him. I don't even feel like him getting the answer wrong.
Call me.
Okay, who is it?
Man, I'm gonna tell you. I would tell you that Eisenhower is not the first. That I'm pretty
Not
sure.
the first one?
Pretty sure it's George Marshall.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is for charity, man. I wouldn't lie to you to make you lose. I'm pretty sure it's George Marshall.
I think it's George Marshall too.
All right, we're going with George Marshall. Final answer. A. George Marshall, yes, sir. $10. Now, I will tell you that Dwight Eisenhower did make it to that rank, but the first one was George Marshall. All right, next question for $20.
It's going to get hard, I can tell.
Nah. Where is the United States Military Academy located? This is officers, right? So, Annapolis, Maryland, West Point, New York, Kings Point, New York, or New London, Connecticut?
West Point.
Right? Is that what you're going with?
Yes.
West Point, New York for $20. Yes, sir. That is the Army's. So when you see like the Army-Navy game, right? The Army is West Point, New York, and then the Navy is actually from Annapolis, Maryland. So, yep, West Point, New York. Good job. All right, $50 question. Your next save point, man. Here we go. How many of the men that have been this is a tough one, man. How many of the men that have been president of the United States have served in either the U.S. Army or Army Reserve? 10, 22, 15, or 29? This is a save question, too. You get this right, no matter what, your charity will be getting $50.
Okay. I'm gonna go with 29.
You want to use a 50-50 or an ask the audience or anything? Are you confident on that, or?
No, I'm not confident at all. We should do whatever you allow.
Let's do it. Well, you can do 50-50 or ask the audience. 50-50 will narrow it down to 2 for you.
50-50.
All right. I wrote down for every question what the 50-50 would be, so that I couldn't change it. All right. And the 50-50 for this question leaves you the answers of A, 10, or B, 22.
Let's go with A. 10.
A, 10.
I feel like that's wrong, but I think let's go with A, 10.
Oh,
what?
Nope. That's my fault. I messed you up. I gave you a 50-50, didn't even have the right answer in it.
Right.
Because if I would have told you 15 and 22, you would have said 15, man. You get it right.
Yeah, I was
going
to go with the lower number.
Oh, my gosh. I'm an idiot. I swear I thought it was A. That's my fault, yo. Wow, bro. It's 15. It's not 29. It's 15 that have been in the Army or the Army Reserve. And I don't have the list. We're not going to go over all that, man. So we'll give you that $50 stopping point. That one's on me. Still lose your 50-50 though. I can't believe that I wrote down the wrong ones because I moved them. Next question, $60. What is the official song of the United States Army? A soldier's song, the Army Goes Rolling Along, caisson song, or the field artillery song?
C.
C, the Army Goes Rolling Along, for $60. Yes, sir, you are absolutely right. I think a lot of us, it's Johnny Goes Marching Home Again, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that tune.
It's the, yeah.
Yeah.
The Army goes rolling
along. Yep. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
You know it.
I know it. Next question is the next save point. Right now, if you were to miss this question, your charity will still get $50. You still haven't asked the audience. And I've been generous with your lifelines because I messed a few things up, man. It's all good. Here we go. For $75, who is the only woman in history to be awarded the Medal of Honor? Mary Edwards Walker, Mary Todd Lincoln, Frances Callalin, or Dorothea Dix?
I don't know that one, bro. That's the only woman to be awarded the Medal of Honor.
This one had to be hard, man. It's a save point, and it's the only woman in history. And this is Army edition, so it had to do it.
Now, I know it's Mary. Excuse me. I know it's Mary.
Okay.
Yeah,
we talked this out, man. You know it's a Mary. Just can't remember the name. Mm-hmm. Mary Edwards Walker or Mary Todd Lincoln, right?
I think I'm gonna go with A. I'm gonna go with Mary Edwards Walker. I don't remember Edwards a lot, but I feel like I remember the Walker.
Like Mary Walker, because Mary Todd Lincoln, that's Lincoln's wife. So I think A would be. Let's go for it. A, Mary Edwards Walker. Final answer. And you are correct. You got that save point, 75. That is absolutely right. The only woman in history to be awarded the Medal of Honor, Mary Edwards Walker.
Nice.
$75. 2 more questions for that 100, man. Here we go. For your $90 question. Which military branch originated from the U.S. Army? The Space Force, the Marines, the Air Force, or the Coast Guard?
All of them. No, I'm playing. Air Force.
Yeah, this should have been lower on the list, man.
Yeah, it should have been. That was pretty easy. But I'll take it.
Look, I didn't change the question. What year did Princess Diana perish in a Paris traffic crash? I forgot to change it. But yeah, you're right. The Air Force, the Army, it was originally what? The Army Air Corps? I think the thing I read was Army Air Force, but it was originally the Army Air Corps, right?
Army Air Corps.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Air Force originated from the Army, and that was World War II, right?
Yep, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah. $100 question. What is the oldest continuously operating division in the United States Army? A, the 276th Engineering Division. B, the 10th Mountain Division. C, the 5th Field Artillery Regiment. Or D, the 1st Infantry Division. And I know you guys are seeing these numbers like, that is still operating. What is the oldest continuously operating division in the United States Army?
I'm thinking about the first. First infantry division still operating.
Now this is
I'm gonna have.
I would say this is the final question, right? Outside the bonus.
I'm gonna go with first. Yeah, I'm gonna go with first.
First Infantry Division?
I'm gonna go with First Infantry Division, yeah.
Since it's your last question, do you want to go ahead and use your Ask the Audience? I'll give you the percentages.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, the percentages on this one is 1st Infantry Division at 42%, followed by 10th Mountain at 36%. Then the other two were a smaller amount. So the percentiles would give you 1st Infantry as well.
Cool. Then I'll go with it.
There you go with their. Do you know what people tend to call them? What their patch is?
What, the first infantry division?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I only do
What do
because
they
my
call it?
grandfather was in the first infantry division, the Big Red
Oh,
One,
really?
because their
Oh,
patch
yep,
is literally
yep,
like just
yep.
the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Red
yeah,
One.
yeah.
Mhm.
Big Red One. Yeah, I sing it in the cadence all the time. I don't know why I didn't know that.
Yeah, you did. You did know it. You just weren't, yeah. That was my grandpa was in Vietnam, and he was part of the first infantry division. He was an Army Ranger. So, first infantry division. Let's see. Yes, sir. $100 to your charity, Till Valhalla Project. That's going to be donated by Behind the Helm. And I guarantee that they appreciate you doing that. But I'm going to give you a chance, man. Bonus question, no lifelines. To win an extra $10, we'll donate $110 to your charity if you get this next question right.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. What is the #1 military podcast in Indiana? E-Talent, Behind the Helm, In the Box, or E14, A Sailor's Voice?
It's either between A and D.
What?
I'm playing. It's B.
What is the #1 military podcast in Indiana? You are right. B, Behind the Helm. Oh, there's one more slide. Thanks for playing. You just won $110 for your charity, man. I appreciate that. Man. We'll make sure to get that over to him. Let me stop this music and pull you back up real quick. Shut up. There we go. Hey, man, I appreciate you playing. I kind of got you on that, huh? A couple of them were out of order because, hey, look, I don't know. I know some Army history, right? And like a few of them, like, that's a hard one. And then there were others like, that was probably pretty easy. So it was a little out of order, man.
Right. That Air Force one should have been at the bottom somewhere.
And you know what's crazy is I think that was a filler one because I knew that one. I was like, man, that really should have been. I should have moved like that Fort Bragg one up there.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
It's not about the trivia or stumping you. It's about the charity and having a little fun. Last week, the guy I had on, he was in Bahrain, and we actually did, because he was born around the same time I was, so we were like 90s kids. It was like just 90s trivia, like just for fun, So I like giving to charity, man, and I'll make sure that that $110, man, goes to the Valhalla Project. I really do. I wear one of their bands. It says "Keep effing going." It's just one of those, for suicide, stuff like that, man. Like, it's something that we do.
Yeah.
We keep each other motivated. So really appreciate you coming on the show, man. I really do. Hopefully some people get some good info out of this. A lot of times it gets watched later. We're in a lot of live watchers today. We still got to say, there's 7 viewers right now, man. And that's just on one platform. So I appreciate everybody who watched. And, that it will definitely get a bunch more views later. And I really hope that somebody, if there's somebody out there struggling with military racism and they think that's a thing, that they reach out to either me or you, and we can show them that, like, it's not a thing, man. So
definitely, 100%.
All right, brother. Well, I really appreciate your time, and I really wish that you just like go put somebody else in the Army. If you could get on that, I'm gonna get off here and go put a projection in. I don't know what you're doing with your day, but
nice. I had some on the floor today.
Hey, but you said on the floor, so that means they didn't get it.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, man. Hey, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you so much. You guys were on Behind the Helm. Thank you. Have a great day. See you next week.
All right.
Later.